Alright, maybe we'll get the game now. I have been waiting for ages. Few aborts later, we are in a game, and my opponent moved. Let's play d5 before he aborts. I don't know if you can actually abort the game after you have moved. Probably not. So let's go to the Queen's Gambit. Declined, I suppose. That would have been the accepted version. Knight f3. Well, knight f6. Why not? Oh, into the Catalan we go. Well, accepted. And how do we intend to play this nonsense now? c5 is kind of calling for it to be played. We could always play here and here to keep the pawn, or knight here to keep the pawn, but I don't know. While you can attack the center, why not attack the center? While you can attack the center, why not attack the center? Alrighty, my opponent takes, so I assume we all have to take here before we take here. There is no reason to bring any of these guys here. Even though taking, of course, brings their rook to an open file here, but that's the price we are willing to pay. And now knight bd2 is probably the main line here. And I think the difference is that here, if they use the other knight, then you can kind of hold on to the knight here, or the pawn here, because it's not easy to put the, like here, you just can't take it away. But if he uses this knight, then this is futile, I think, because he has the easy way of attacking it the second time here. I don't think this leads anywhere. Also, I think I've always tried this dubious sack. I think it's like computer evolution is horrible. But I've tried this nonsense a few times, but it just doesn't work. Like white is just winning. So best move here, I think, is just b3. Give that pawn back. At least we wrecked the white pawn structure a little bit here. Isolani. The downside is that white has a lot more freedom here. Like this is not easy to get into game. We can go here. I think the move is castles though. It's still like the queens are off, so you can always think about keeping the king in the center, but there's the bishops and the rooks and the knights are swinging around, so the king is not safe here. Especially after a move like here, and then you have to decide where to stick this. So if you like stick the king in somewhere like e7, and then something happens on this diagonal, then you're in trouble. So I think we just retreat here. Could have gone this side too, but feels it might, like even we are still on this guy here. For sure. I still feel like it's on the way here. And they can always take care of that threat easily. Alright, so they are 100,000,000% hitting this knight. So we have to either take or defend. If I defend my knight, we do end up, if he take chops twice, we do end up with the symmetrical pawn structure. I mean, I guess I could always take with the pawn, but do you really want to? Like here, here, here. I don't think you really want to do it. I mean, that is probably legal move, but I mean, it is a legal move. But if I take, then maybe they take with a pawn and we improve their structure. Here, 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 or there. That's a decent looking square. If we could hold on to there. If we could somehow hold on to it. Oh, there is a third option here. I can pin the knight. I can pin the knight. That is not covered. It's also a check, so there is no funny business with taking in no in-betweeners here because we can say check. I assume that if I move here, the bishop is gonna move somewhere. And we can still defend here. Well, let's do it. Here, with the I'm, this square is so possible. I did not solve my problems with the bishop here, though. Yeah, I think taking here is wrong because then I have very hard time getting through here or solving this problem with the bishop here. I don't think I can pull off this though. If it goes there because it just takes here and that is a thing. This side on the other hand, I mean defends the c3. It does indeed defend the c3 and now this is back on the menu. They defended the rook too. I don't know, maybe it's fine there. Maybe. Also it takes away any kind of funny business with this kind of a moves, but I'm not sure those were a funny business anyways. But I was gonna mention why it looks a little funny, because now this comes a lot more tempting though. Hitting the bishop. The problem of course is that I'm not fixing my light squared bishop problem. Can he, if I go here, can he go knight a5? Covers the square and like trying to highlight that I should probably not play b6 while the diagonal is open. Losing a full rook. Not good. Maybe knight a5 is a possibility. Hitting this second time instantly. I'd have to go rook here. Still couldn't play b6 because the fork here is a pain of a certain caliber. But I really want to play this move though. But knight a5. I don't know about it. Problem is gonna be that the knight a5 is gonna be kind of annoying even if I go here and they chop twice here. Knight a5 in the end of that line. So I'll just allow it. I'll play here and I don't know. Well, we pretend we're gonna deal with the problem somehow. There's also knight d5 moves in this, just blocking the bishop. I'm not sure it's that great here, e4, but does that also blocks the bishop? But it could be like a possible solution down the line against something. Could just think about sneaking the knight there. Not sure I have time. That's a long time to do, and this is not a stable square for this guy. Even though I'm not sure white can also just play f4 willy-nilly here, because then you make holes around here. And also there's this technically, because the knight is here. Well, assuming the knight is there, it's not guaranteed. Sometimes people don't even look at the move like knight a5 because it goes to the flank. But it does hit the pawn second time, so it is kind of a forcing move you could find. And then the backward defendness of the move is kind of great. Is that a word? Backwards defendness. It is a word. I would be a lot happier if we could shed like 1, 2, 3 pieces off. I particularly don't care too much for the mess that all these minor pieces cause. Chop off like 3 pieces, maybe even a pair of rooks, clarify the position, and this is hunky-dory. I don't know. That looked like a safe move. I thought in advance, so let's do it. We are completely dead if the bishop somehow would land here, though. And it can go there. A kind of decent speed, too. And I can't play b6. I cannot play b6. These dudes coming here are gonna totally wreck me. So, in that sense, I don't know. I question the soundness of this move because I did not see a clear solution to this move. So, it was a bit of a hope chest, to be honest. Of course, we are not we have this covered, so in that sense it was not the worst, but maybe it was the worst. Oh, well, I have this plan I had, but and if I have a knight here, I can probably think about playing the bishop out without dropping this, even though c4 becomes a thing, opening the bishop up, and then unless I have a good move with the knight, it's just gonna win a pawn. I guess we could still go here and present this pawn, even though it's defended and they don't have to take here with the knight. But I suppose if they take with the bishop here, I can take the knight here. Take the pawn with the knight here. Alright, h3. I guess he wants to play f4 and doesn't want me to jump there. I mean, that is legal, I suppose. I mean, it is very legal. Well, I'll go here anyhows. In hopes that, well, we block this bishop here. I don't know, I didn't really look at the other moves. But I'm wasting too much time anyways. This looked like a decent move. In f4, I'll move the knight somewhere. Sad part is it doesn't really have a good square, but f4 has the downside that they are instantly threatening to go there anyhow with the other knight. Can't go back. Maybe I could go here, question mark, but not obvious at all. Actually, it's kind of like a, maybe they could even do the fork because it hits the rook, and the bishop. Bishop. Yeah. I suppose I can play rook b7, defend the other bishop, and the other bishop defends this. Even though there's so many pins and chins going on, so I don't know, it might even actually work. f4, knight goes somewhere. I guess knight could go here and defend the bishop. Because why would you go here? I mean, it's this square, even though it looks ridiculous, it has the ideas that the knight could go somewhere useful from there. Yeah. And it's on the way of this one too. So if I go here, knight here, I do have an in-between check with the bishop though. Bring the bishop and then I can maybe move the other bishop and just... So maybe it doesn't work. It's a lot of freaking pins though. A lot of freaking pins. Wonder if I die. Like just literally die. I don't want to go here. It looks so crappy. It's a solid square. Defends the bishop. I mean, technically we could also maybe go here because there is a bishop around here. True. Also, no. Probably no, right? I was thinking that maybe I could sneak b6. Knight goes here. Knight takes fork. Check. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna fly. I was thinking somehow I could take here and pin it, but I don't have time to pull that. Okay, let's pretend this works. Because it might work. It might not work. The in-between check, of course, gets the bishop out of trouble, but also undefends the rook here. So I don't know, this looks really tempting to try, but I hope it doesn't work. Maybe it works. Who knows? But yeah, we also have some other in-betweeners here to throw at some point. But yeah, well, if this happens, I don't have time to those. Oh, also, this is different. There is I can always take and maybe take here and yeah, that also is that's a big thing in many lines. Of course, white can make some sound move here. That is like a... Well, if he goes there, I'm gonna go there. That is some kind of a threat too. And I would not mind at all killing this bishop. I would not mind that at all. Even though this comes stronger if I don't have a knight here and the king is not on the dark square, so at some point this could actually become a big problem because it's a mega fork. You know, the rooks hanging might be the least of my problems here and there. This is probably the biggest problem because it's a piece with a check. Well, this is still there. Yeah, I don't know. Probably doesn't work. Probably is a good way to think in chess. Like Lasker said, lies and hypocrisy. survive very well on the chessboard. Or was it the other way around? They don't survive. So this looks tempting, but there is possible pins here, which I don't probably want to go into. This, I think these squares look decent. That's probably a good move. We could also pin the knight now. Would undefend my rook in there's a loads of freaking pins going on around here. Anyways, b6 is definitely out of menu. Bit unpleasant, but actually maybe I could take the pawn here. I don't know why I would go on this square though. I mean, it defends this, but it doesn't need to be defended. I mean, the knight is definitely going here. I guess I could go here, but it doesn't stop that move. Not sure that's a move anyways. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, the point was to go here and this guy goes there, but it doesn't work this way. Like, I still think that that's a possibility, but it's not. Because there was supposed to be this knight going there and be supported by... I don't know who he would be supported by. Well, let's go there. How bad can this move be? Maybe he plays a4 and says, no, you're not going anywhere. It's plausible. We have the rook defended here, so I don't mind opening this up at the moment. Oh, yeah, I've spent way too much time on random moments. Random moments in time and space. Well, that's definitely the threat. We could do the threat now too. He takes, I'll take. Looks decent. And I would free the knight here for the other knight. Because again, this looks a bit stingy. Just have to be sure it works. Like, this guy has no good in-betweeners. But this gonna end up in a bad times for me. I hit this guy. They hit this. I can't retreat here again. I have to go back. We would be on the pawn too, though. So if he takes here, I'll take here. We lost this, though. That shocks, though. It shocks a lot. It is a bishop pair, though. I'll go here. It looks a bit murky, but let's go. How bad can this be? How bad can it be? And I can always take here with the pawn, even though it looks cursed, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Not me. So here, back. Pawn hanging. A lot of stuff going on around here. Is there a fork in the end here? Oh. I just noticed that the rook can possibly go here too. And there's a pin around these parts of town too. Guess then I could somehow survive here. No, but that defends the pawn, not the rook. Or the square there. Well, I do have to take back my freaking thingy map, but I don't know. This seems to be winning though. Right, right, right. Yeah, probably. I have no in-between attacks. I could defend this, but he can always attack the bishop. I can defend my bishop. I mean, this technically would maybe work. It's a very cursed looking move though. On the other hand, his rooks would be stuck. I guess he would also have this move. Then I'll go here. Or check too is possible. This is in the end always gonna be a pain though. So if I go here, I can take here, hang the pawn, take here. I could at least get nice pawns. We would be on another pawn. This still probably is gonna be pretty nasty then though. Possible. This looks very cursed, but maybe it works. Who knows? Wait. Did I say that I have No. Yeah, I don't have knight c4s, of course, because this is just covering it. So if I go here and they go here, I mean, then this would not be here, though. I could give check and then run away, and the file would be blocked. Here it would not be so, but who knows what's what. Okay, I'll go here. I'm not 100,000,000% sure this is actually gonna work even close. But what can you do? It works, it doesn't, it doesn't. Because otherwise I have to go for this, and I'm not sure I have enough there. The rook there and the pin on the back rank is just pain. And the knight is still coming here. I can of course play the rook here and like pretend everything is okay, but it probably is not. And to be honest, I still hopefully have some kind of like ways out of this mess here. Something similar, maybe. And we have always done in between check here. In some cases, maybe. Well, he did the move. So I definitely cannot go here. I 100,000,000% cannot go there. I do have to give him a check of sorts. I don't think I can give this check though, because then king comes towards my knight and I have a knight and the bishop attacked. So I have to go here. See where the king goes, and at least the king has some trouble finding a... I mean, this is probably okay. Because all the light squares are not the same though. Guess this, but it blocks the bishop. It's kind of cursed. But these light squares are kind of bad because then you don't have this fork anymore, because I can actually take, and if he takes my rook, I'll give a check here and win the rook back. So if he goes here and here, I'll retreat here. This at least is not in a direct violation of the imperial code. It's a vulnerable square, but not instantly exploitable. So I can go here. They can fork me. Not much I can do about that. Of course, I can now take here, take there, but then this rook knight is not takeable. This is takeable. I should just move though. I don't think this is a square I want to be, so let's go here. So now if this happens, I think I'll just take here, and then I'll take here with somebody. And this knight is a lot further away from the action than it was. Like, it's not here instantly. So with this weirdo move here, we gain something. So I don't think I can do anything here. I'm just gonna take the rook. Or the knight. Let the exchange go. And then, I mean, keeping the pawns healthy this way looks more natural, but this comes with threat, so I think I'll do it that way. Even though the pawn is instantly attacked after this goes somewhere. I'll take it this way. It's a weird way to take it. I know. We're on the pawn here. Guess I could have taken this too. But now I'm threatening this check here. Winning my rook back. I have only one stinking pawn for the exchange at the moment. Alright, they go there. I could go here. This almost threatens a mate. Almost. Almost is not enough though, but this side. I assume this is a move where I was thinking of going here. I think take there, I'll go here. Then the rook's hanging. With some ideas too. So it's a bit sneaky. A bit sneaky. And that's important that this square is covered. So we have the bishop pair. We have one pawn. We are maybe coming here to maybe take this and, well, actually threaten a checkmate here. I also, the same thing works here, is that I go here. I'll hit the knight, rook. They take this, I go here, and we are threatening the rook and the checkmate at the same time. Kind of beautiful situation there. Alright, so they just say that we're gonna trade all those dudes away. Which is a bit cursed, isn't it? Bit cursed. If I go here, then he can go here. Quite cursed. Well, oh my god. I could threaten the checkmate here once. I'm just gonna lose some time, aren't I? Aren't I? I'll allow this. I saw this move, but it's not gonna fly long. And maybe I can attack the stuff around here too. But I don't think I can allow the rook trade. Alrighty-o. Whatever. Whatever. This is something coming up. Now we are no longer pinned on every file here, but yeah, this becomes a problem at some point. Definitely comes a problem at some point. I'll just play some fast moves here, defend the thingies. I don't know, not threatening anything anymore. I guess we are threatening this and that. Problem is that he has in between moves. He doesn't have to take here, he can take here. So, well, takes. Oh, even here, so I don't have any discovered check because it takes my bishop. So I'm not even threatening this. But of course, white to move. White to move. Not good. Almost bad. I mean, this is a move, possibly. Bring the bishop back here. I would need a luft too at some point. Damn it, we need a luft. This back rank is killing me. It's literally killing us. Right. I think I'll hit the stinking rook. Even though we do give up the pressure there. And let's put the pressure on that boy instantly. Maybe also some forking business if he tries to go back. I don't know if this is a threat. It's probably some kind of a try. Maybe h4. Luft and, I don't know, counterattack here at the same time. So we could take here. I don't know, I'll throw this here. It's basically a pawn sack, but I make some room and the double pawn here is not very good. But yeah, if he can of course hit that guy now. I can take here. He can take here. Let's see. I mean, I guess he gave some room for the king here. Can I take here now? Still takes here, but then I take the rook since he's no longer on my rook. Yeah. I mean, we are on the rook here, so he can't swing in here instantly. I guess he can take this guy though. I did not think that. I did not think that far ahead. Fudge. I'm down a piece. Well, that's a bit cursed, isn't it? Now 2 pawns for a piece. Oh, that was a horrible situation there. Horrible situation. I'll take some ones there. Let's go bother that a pawn. Now I need a lot of pawn trades. A lot of them. We can push things in the center. But I'd rather keep the pawns like this. This of course is a bit vulnerable. Bit vulnerable. Okay, let's go here. It's a threat at least. Assume some king move somewhere out of the way is the key. Oh, but not there though, because that is definitely a fork. Is that the best move I had there? I don't know. Maybe not, but at least things are now even Steven. Even Steven. Let's give him a check. See where the king goes. That is really asking for it though. That is really asking for it. F6. Not obvious that that's a good move, but I want to see where the king goes. So here, here, or there, there, here. Yeah, I don't think I should do that though, but we could also hit the bishop first. Put the bishop on this side of the rook. Takes though. Again, not 100% this works, but at least if he hits my rook, I can attack give a check. Alright, this is of course probably very drawish, but I won't lose this game either. I don't really see that I should be trying for a win though. Alright, question if it goes crazy, should we take here? I don't know. I'll keep this protected for now. And maybe I'll try to sneak through here to hit those thingies. And of course, if he does, yeah, like if he does not keep hitting this pawn, I'll hit his pawns. I have to be a little careful I don't get checkmated by something like this though. Right? Here, there, bing. Probably if he goes there, I'll go like here and threaten this, and then also threaten to give a in-between check here. Dislodge this somewhere, and then I'm not at least checkmated instantly. But we are also actually threatening to take the pawn now. Wonder how good is them. Okay, I'll go here, whatever, man. Their idea is probably that they wanna go there, and also I did defend this with my random moves here. So the point is that he goes for this. I can take here. It takes there. Yeah, I don't know. Is this any way winnable? Any way winnable? I'm really scared about this move. Like this entire concept at some point he's gonna give you a check here. That's gonna be a fast pawn though. It's gonna be a really fast pawn. So if I take here, it's not gonna be enough, is it? I was thinking check, take, check. He goes here and he has time to... If I go here though, okay, I'm gonna lose some time if I don't do something. So instead of check, how about if we attack the pawn instantly? Or check first, then attack the pawn. I'll check first. So give my king some room, then I go here. If I attack with the king, then he can defend here, and then it's very hard to make progress. But maybe his best bet is to actually go here. Well, I'll go here anyways. Because here I take here and defend backwards. So if he goes here, I'll take it checks, I'll go here. He can take here, I'll take here with check. And then, I don't know, things are escalating. Well, I don't think it's a checkmate, so let's take. Now the king is in danger of getting on the wrong side of this. Oh, now we can... I mean, I guess he could take with the king, go here, and then he's may be able to. Well, let's try that anyways. Rook takes, I think, just loses though, right? Because now the pawn is on the wrong side and this forces the rook trade, so that was definitely the wrong move. King takes, and then I don't know. Still looks a bit cursed, but now we are just, their king is on the wrong side of the world. I don't need the king to support this guy. I probably won't stalemate here. Probably. Fastest mate, I suppose here and there. I never do this mate, I always do this mate. Alright, let's look at what happened in that game. We were losing for a second. Not horribly losing. Oh, here, okay. Yeah, I made some... This is surprising, but I understand. I'm so much better here. I mean, I thought I was fine, but computer says I'm better here. Okay, well, anyways, let's look at from the beginning. Open the book up so we learn something. Where we left off the theory. I assume we will follow theory quite a while though. So Catalan, chop line, can also not chop line, but at least white has to work out. They can of course go pick up the pawn instantly if they wish so, but my opponent plays for more ambitious. Many ways you can always pretend to or try to hold on to the pawn with a6 or knight c6, knight a5 here. Maybe even be knight here and here, but counter-attacking or attacking the center is fine. Castles, keep attacking the center. Of course you can also take, but I don't think that makes a lot of sense. And this is the other main line. Other main line is like a queen here. Knight e5 is also option, so loads of theory here. Chop. Yeah, taking here is probably the only reasonable move. Rook takes, bishop takes, and this is the main line, yeah. And then your best bet is that you cannot really hang on to the pawn anymore. This is too dangerous because of this stuff here. Is that true? Why people play there? Surprisingly decent. I see that everybody has played Gamer. Thubo, Carl played a4 here. Computer wants to play knight e5. It doesn't really matter evaluation wise. Surprisingly small though. I mean, we did get one pawn and we have something cooking here maybe someday, but sticks the king there. Okay, so let's look at some random move like bringing the bishop back here. Surprisingly bad because suddenly the pin is a problem. Knight e4, knight chops, bishop chops, knight g4, e3, f5, bishop goes back, knight e5. Eyeing this square, and maybe, I mean, b3 looks like a move. We play c3, and is this like the reason why this is all fine? Like this is a hard to activate bishop. Oh, it's a kind of random stuff too. Anyway, c3 is the main line. Chop. Castles is the most played. Knight b3 is the most played. Bishop drops back here. Assume this is also possible, but not as good. Not a big difference. Knight there. Okay, now I'm starting to question things. So most played move here is bishop d7, just allowing this if white wishes to go for this. Complete equality, even though computer says white slightly better. I suppose because c4 and deny this square. It should be fine, it should be fine. So this has been played few times, 12 times. Not by the top players. Another main line here is the chop here. But I did not like this because it fixes the lights or the piece of the pawn structure of whites. And then I still have this problem. I guess I could have done the same here though. As I tried in the game, block the bishop with the knight. Kind of typical theme in the Catalan, happens a lot. Knight d5 blocks the bishop. And if they want to wreck my pawn structure, I have a bishop pair for it. And then maybe we can fix our problems with the light squared bishop here. Yeah, this would have been an option. Alright, so I chose Le Pin. Not horrible. Okay. Everybody has played the bishop here and there. This looked a little sus to me. Because the bishop was kind of exposed there. But I'm not sure I should have done what I did here though. Yeah, computer says knight e5 is just not good. Yeah, this is the reason I saw it. My opponent saw it. That was not the move though. Even though it made a lot of sense. You want to kick the knight, deny this and not let him go here. But definitely c4. And then white is close to winning. This is still a problem. I'm not going here. I can't play b6 because of the forks just kill. Yeah, no good, no good. So here I could have done something else. This apparently is a double question mark blunder. I should play bishop d7 now, sack this pawn. And if he takes, I can take and then do the skewer here, and this is double defended, so it doesn't matter. There's no funny business with f4s and discoveries. Not that the knight could actually go anywhere, because the piece here is kind of dominating it. But yeah, fine. So this somehow worked here. If they do f4, knight jumps to again c6. Suppose again the same thing here saves the day. Bishop takes. I don't know why white would take with the bishop here, like crazy. Least keep the bishop. Wow, it takes with the rook, doesn't even care. Okay, both are fine, but somehow this is better. Shedding this, allowing check, king f1, knight h5. Fine. Assume at some point they would go here too. Or if the king went straight up, king g2. Okay, but that's too much. f4 was surprisingly not good. This was decent. Knight g6 might have been safer. Yeah, I did miss the this is fine. I did miss the skewer here. I thought he's gonna go here. Because I don't know, somehow, even though it should be an obvious move to think there's two moves. And I only considered one of them. But yeah, since I knew this was a problem, should have considered it. That's actually the only move here. Yeah, I was thinking this and this and this and this and this, and maybe we have some. But yeah, it's just instantly over here. Oh, not instantly. We have the in-between check, yeah. Move the rook somewhere and... Oh, I see. Yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. Even though we do win this pawn, I think the problem is gonna be how to stop this guy here. And the bishop is complete garbage here. It has no future anywhere. You have to probably sack something to make it work. Yeah, it did not look good. So that's even though I did not really be able to calculate all this nonsense because he couldn't attack there and it looked a bit sus, but the other line looked so much worse. So I didn't instantly see how this fails. I saw I have always some in between checks to maybe bail out to something similar. And especially if the knight went here or here, then it's not as ideal as in the other line. But it was instantly coming here. And of course, if it goes here, he blocks the b file, and then there's no forks at all. Alright, so here apparently this was the great move. This was okay. Okay, somehow rook d5 works here. Shedding a full rook. And then we play rook d2. Are we threatening something? I mean, we are hitting the knight. But are we threatening some? I guess we are threatening this and taking the bishop too. If the knight goes here, then I don't know, some order of things. Rook f2, king has to go here. f5. Okay, king did not have to go here, but this is apparently a mate. King g7. And apparently unavoidable mate coming up. So if he tries to g4 it, make some room, it's an instant mate. Yikes. So the best he can shed is like give a knight there to delay the inevitable. And now it's mate in 1. Yeah, we don't need h6, we just needed the king to cover this square. Well, yeah. But who I mean, I don't know, you need to have a classical game and the brain of Tal to find out this move. Or that line. Okay, this is still fine though, and much more human. Apparently fine. Now again, yeah, we could take there like I showed. I took the right way around, even though I felt it a bit gimmicky. But I guess the same situation. Well, I mean, this is okay, fine too, but... I mean, pawn structure-wise, this would be more solid. You don't have a backwards pawn here, and you have 2 pawn islands instead of 3, like I have in a game. But this comes with some threats here, so can kick the knight, the rook out first. Wrong side. Yeah, they should go here and trade the bishops away. Apparently I should just play bishop here. block this crap instantly and, I don't know, maybe go here. What do we do against this though? Just defend. Fine. There, he should have done that. Yeah. Bishop d3 actually wins. So if this happens, we give a check. King e2. Everything is hanging. But how do we deal with this back rank nonsense here? In between check. Everything is hanging. How do we deal with the back rank check here? Just go here. So if he takes, I'll take with the bishop, no check. This is still here. Takes here, I'll take the rook. And we are up 2 pawns. Fine by me. I would never ever find that though. Maybe in a classical game you could come up with a situation like that. Okay, we are only up a piece here, pawn here in this line anyways. Yeah, that's annoying. That's annoying. So fine. Apparently I could take here now. I did not see what to do against this though. Oh my god, did you miss that you have another fork coming up here? You numbskull. Eh. So probably they have to take back and then I take here and we have a bishop pair and connected passed pawns. Black is slightly better. A lot to ground still. A lot to grind. That's a fine move. C5 apparently better. G6 is a better way to make a luft. No, not really. It was fine. C5 again, good move. Bad move. Knight G5 check somehow wins. So if you go here, we just check this pawn with check. And rook e3. Hit the pawn. Not sure what else are we threatening. So if he pushes the pawn, knight h3. Oh, that did not really save the bishop either. Just take it. Still threatens this, that. I don't know. Surprisingly good attacking pieces. So yeah, I missed this possibility. Not good. Surprisingly, this is just equal though. I'm a full piece down for a few pawns. But the pawns are kind of high quality though. And that's a mistake. Now, white, okay. Blunder. I'm supposed to, oh, I see. D4. Maybe threaten this, so they have to keep an eye on it. Here, keeps an eye on it. Check. Goes here. Rook e3. I guess we are threatening this. We have this covered, so no in between checks to get out of pins. We're on h3. Apparently, white is just lost. Crazy. Of course, that was not the first move. Computer just would take there again. Oh, silly threat. Okay, I thought that's crazy, but King f2 and white is better. Yeah, it was obviously a mistake. But here I should not be winning this game ever. It's a equal material. Their king is slightly more active. It's not sure about this one, but I don't know, could you somehow justify being a better because those are on the light squares and mine are on the dark squares? I doubt it. Yeah, and after this trade it should just be a completely equal endgame. But then I don't know why he did this king run all the way back there. Yeah, I don't think this, well, this is risky of course, but I was thinking of this. He defends the pawn, I'll give a check, king goes somewhere, and it's definitely not easy to win. Definitely not easy to win. I mean, it should be obviously impossible to win with the good play. At least here I thought that maybe I can have some play. Now I should give up the pawn. So I can't take here because it takes here, and this is what I thought would end up. Even in the end, I didn't see how to avoid this. And as long as this is protected, I don't think this is gonna fly too high though. Don't go to g-file and allow the fork again. Run away. My pawn is immobile. Can't move the rook without dropping the pawn. Only thing we can do is move the king. Trying to check from the back again. If you go here instantly, you can go here, and this is no longer working because you can take here. Maybe this is a little more clever. You can't go here because now this wins, but you can keep checking, and I did not make any progress here, and this is now again being bang. You always want to try this to get the pawn running, like in the game. But yeah, even in the end, like here. Well, apparently not. I thought he has to take with the king. Of course he has to, because that was straight up winning straight up, but I was like surprisingly that this is not draw. That's a check. Then I have to find king g5. I mean, it makes sense. We get the pawn rolling. And then we are winning because the king is behind the pawn. So if he gives a check, we just push, goes there, give a check, and then king is gonna be cut on some level. Or for instance, rook e8. I assume every move is winning here. Very embarrassing if it's not. And white has no time to set up the frontal defense because we push the pawn. Bang. Anyways, apparently that would have been hard work, but I think we end up in a Lucena position eventually. But yeah, after the rook take here, this just forces the rooks off, and then it is a done deal. The king is on the wrong side of the world. Pawn is going this way. King should be on there. Horrible. He continued until the mate, but what can you do? Thanks for watching, and until next time. Ciao.